you're buying a new house, you're going to be looking at probably a Homebond or Premier guarantee scheme, some sort of a structural indemnity scheme, and that's generally the situation with new houses. Now you need to be careful if you're buying a one-off house, perhaps in the country, or from a smaller developer or whatever, because you may not get the Homebond or Premiership or Premier insurance policy, and that, as I say, is to cover for structural defects. That's going to be a problem, or could be a problem, not necessarily a problem, but could be a problem if the lender is insisting that the house be registered with Homebond or Premier, and that's not inconceivable. However, there's a third way. The third way is for the builder to provide the indemnity, and for that to be the case and for that to be acceptable, then the lender is going to be looking for a certificate from an architect or a surveyor confirming that they've inspected and carried out a supervisory role at various critical stages of the build. For example, pouring the foundations, wall plate level, roofing, and obviously finally completion and so on. And the bank will be happy enough, probably, but you need to check your loan conditions, will be happy enough probably to accept a certificate from an architect or surveyor who will confirm that they have supervised it at various stages. Otherwise, you're looking at Homebond or Premier. They are schemes, sort of insurance schemes, providing for structural defects, and they provide cover for major and minor defects. The major defects, Homebond certainly, Premier is probably the same, I'm not 100%, but Homebond provides for major structural defects the guarantee or indemnity up to 10 years. Minor defects, 5 years. There's two aspects to the Homebond structural or Homebond insurance. One is the latent defects insurance, in other words, for latent defects, hidden defects, structural defects, either of a major or minor nature, which come to light afterwards. You can claim, obviously, off the policy against those. And the second aspect of the Homebond insurance is one to do with mechanical and I think it's electrical. In other words, the likes of sewerage and the likes of ventilation and air conditioning, anything to heating and so on, anything of that nature, there's a cover there as well for that. Now obviously, like all insurance companies and like all insurances policies, there's going to be limits and there's going to be excesses and there's going to be limits on the number of times you can claim over a lifetime and all that crack. So you need to look at the policy, but generally it's a good idea, very good idea, to have the Homebond insurance or Premier insurance in place, and generally the bank will expect that, certainly with a new house, and they will probably make reference to it in the loan offer, in the special conditions. So if it happens to be the case that there's no Homebond or no Premier, then you should at an early stage flag up with your own solicitor to find out what's the story in terms of an indemnity. Is there an indemnity from the builder, and is there an architect or surveyor who's prepared to issue a certificate confirming that he or she is satisfied with the build that he or she has inspected and supervised at the various critical stages of the build, and will issue a certificate to that effect. In that situation, the bank will go ahead with the loan, no difficulty, and the fact that there's no Homebond or no Premier insurance won't be fatal. But most big builders will have Homebond or Premier, and generally the banks will be expecting it. Just when you go to draw down your loan then at the end to complete the sale, bank will not release the money, will not release the loan without the Homebond certificate of insurance, the final certificate of insurance being sent into the bank. So the bank needs to be covered and will be insisting on that. So that will hold up the completion of the sale if it's not available, and it won't close until it is available. Hope you find this video useful. If you do I'd appreciate if you gave it a thumbs up down below, and you may be interested in subscribing to my YouTube channel. Thanks a lot.